Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome back to our daily Felon 45 health reading. This one's for Thursday, May 1st. And you know, I think I forgot yesterday to, or for yesterday's reading, I'm having to do all weeks on Monday. So anyway, I think I forgot to mention in his reading for Wednesday that I remember I was talking about algol, and so astrologically that the transit, actually I'll just say it the simple way, the transit that caused the first assassination attempt, July 13th, and then also in October last year. So, and he did have, remember that guy that snuck in around Mar-a-Lago and then Secret Service found him? There's that. So those two actually happened, and those are direct hits when the algol was being activated by Uranus crossing over. And so he still has, until the end of May, he still has that transit going on. And then he'll have it again in January and February of 2026. So, let's see. When does a tater-tot dictator take his dirt nap? Ooh, okay. Judgment reversed. Well, okay, so the forces in motion for today, for his May 1st, I feel like there's a possibility he could spend some time in the hospital. This is a card, when it comes to reverse, is like you're going through a hell realm in your own body on the health level, right? Because of the person's refusal to make changes in the past, they're brought in, from the outside. Wow. Okay. His big challenge for the day, with the Empress coming in, to have two majors, first of all, what? First out of the gate? This is a card of kidney issues and the lymphatic system, because it's ruled by Venus. So we're talking, Venus rules Taurus and Libra, so Libra rules the lower back. It's also a card, when it comes to reversed, on being dependent on others. If you're in the hospital, you're dependent on others. So I don't know, we'll see. Does he disappear for the day? Does something go on? Or does he have, maybe he has to go in for like a colonoscopy or something, because this card's ruled by Pluto. That would be the underworld. Undercarriage work. God. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and lay the cards out. So here's the morning. Here's the noontime and into afternoon, and then more evening is over here. Quite a few reversals. Let's get a couple extra there, and two off the bottom. Yeah, okay. So, don't have the cards I really want to see, but, gotta surrender to what is. Okay. In the morning, with the Four of Cups reversed, when, we're talking level of, our health, those areas, this is feeling bored on one level, but being really out of balance, complete out of balance. It's the moon in Cancer, so it could be, now I don't know if that's what the sign the moon's in that day. I'd have to look. I'm not gonna. This card relates to the moon in Cancer, so it can be having things that you don't want put in front of you and just not interested. It's my card for just being really, really apathetic and blocked. And out of balance, just totally out of balance, and bored, and missing opportunities to actually take care of yourself, right? So there's that, and he's restricted because of that. The Eight of Swords, besides restriction, it can be those connective tissue illnesses that come in. It could even be, because it's Jupiter and Gemini, it could be the lungs, could be issues. Maybe he has some long COVID issues that keep coming up. It's our card for veins and arteries and nerves. So, I don't know. I mean, I think he's never taken good care of himself, and he's completely dependent on whatever he can get from any Dr. Feelgood, and he's restricted because of that. He never goes in to self-reflect, so the bandana or the shield around the eyes to go in and do the work that needs to be done to get out of this position, he's never going to do. Okay, it gets even worse around noontime with this is literally like falling on his own swords of the mind. We could look at it as being, I know there's one sword up here, 4 swords is the card, but 3 of swords would relate to the betrayal card that comes before this one, but he betrays his own body, so that's just a big part of it. But when we get this card on the health level reversed, this is immobility and maybe even insulin levels, high blood pressure levels, but totally maybe restless on one level because he's not as mobile as he wants to be, but burned out, just majorly burned out. And maybe he's burned out working for Putin. Maybe he is burned out with the 3 of Wands. Maybe this has him feeling burned out in the area of even, oh my God, where's my hair? Because this is a card of hair loss. Maybe he's tired. Maybe all this is just burnt. Maybe he can't stand looking in the mirror anymore. And oh my God, I can't do it. And no matter how many different ways I try to flop the hair over from both sides and how far down he goes, because notice he's going down further and further closer to his ear over on that one side, tries to flop it over on the top because he's losing the hair on the top. And so the hair plugs that he had put in the 80s in the front, they're not growing well anymore, so he's not even able to, he can't do the whole that he used to do. He can't do it anymore. And then he's got the bald spot in the back. And I guess he had all kinds of scalp reduction surgery along with the hair plugs too, which is why it was also painful. Yeah. And apparently the news back in the day, because, I remember, I'm old enough to remember what was going on. I remember that was when Ivana said that he raped her, and that's when she said, it was divorce time, because I guess he was in a bunch of pain and got on a bunch of pain meds, and maybe he didn't successfully rape her, but he tried. Anyway, he was violent with her and tried to rape her, so maybe successfully, I don't know. All that's his karma, right? So, anywho, 3 of Wands, to dive even deeper into it on the level of health, is all about inflammation, head, neck, hair loss problems, eye problems, high blood pressure, So, there's all that. In the evening, we've got the whistleblower card again on the card of falling down. But this could be a whistleblower that's getting away to a safer place. That's good to know. Maybe something does come out in the news about the whistleblowers that, what was his name, Daniel Bareilles, I think? The ones that clocked all the 10 terabytes of data that went, they got sucked out of these government websites and went up to, I guess it just was in the website, the National Labor Relations Board, and they reported that the 10 terabytes of data got sucked up to Russia. Russia was an IP address from Russia. And of course, Starlink is the ISP, so, all of that. They were doing what Putin told them to do. Not the whistleblowers, but Trump and Musk have been doing what they've been told to do. So it could be that there's something that comes out of, because this could definitely be seen as a foreign card as well, if we get out of the level of health there. But I feel like this is falls and bad circulation in his lower legs. And maybe he's a little more mobile, or he gets away with it a little better. Maybe all of these swords have to do with some more IV drips that he continues to need. And then maybe in the evening he's kind of fighting mad again, and he doesn't mind, being on his ego trip, and he's basically never going to have a constructive attitude because that's just who he is. But he's struggling. He's struggling with something. Traditionally, we're in the health, in the realm of health, it's just a person's pride, and they're burned out because of the unhealthy ego, and so they go through periods of burnout, or go through like crash and burn, right? Crashing around with the wands and batons. But then I wonder if there's a legal issue, and then also because I got a long time ago that it's going to be this, just all the stress that takes him down. But on the level of health, when we're dealing with the Justice card, of course it's ruled by Libra, so we're talking lower back, we're talking balance, we're talking kidney issues because lower back. Balance issues, like I said, could be blood sugar imbalance as well. Maybe he's battling blood sugar issues. Those 4 cards would certainly speak to that. And if your blood sugar's off, you're not going to have good balance. Maybe he has to be moved around in a different way than on his own feet. I'd like to see that. Anyway, 2 cards on the deck. With the Wheel of Fortune upright, there is movement. He's exercising his free will, and he's maybe back on top a little bit, but we still have, no matter what, when it comes to this card, we still have the issue of trying to, it's like the wheel keeps going around, and he can get whatever help he wants from all of these practitioners that are working on him, but he still goes back and does all the bad things that clog up the liver and cause the high blood pressure and the diabetes and the gout and the obesity, and he's toxic, right? It's just no change, and then he doesn't sleep at night. And maybe he can't sleep at night because things just keep moving and moving and moving, in his mind. That would make sense to me. So, okay, well, that's it for Thursday, May 1st for Felon 45. Okay, thanks, you guys. Take good care, as always. Bye.